Keaton, how frustrating was it to, Jackson Arnold seemed like he was pretty slippery. He was kind of getting free out there. I guess, how was he so free, and how frustrating was it to see him kind of run like he was?
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating when you have a quarterback who has the skill set and adversity that and just the skill set that he has. It's tough. It goes from 10 on 11 to 11 on 11 when you have a quarterback who can scramble like that. And we just have to get him down. Needs to be better tackling. That's on the defense.
Devin, is this kind of a gut check moment for the defense because they gained a lot of their yards after contact?
I would say, yeah, we got to be better tacklers, which we will do. Come back, watch the film, get better on Monday.
Keaton, how did the kind of outlook for the defense change when Jackie went down in the first quarter, and how did you kind of try to adjust on the fly?
Yeah, it sucks when you have a player like that go down. That's my brother. I'm sad that he wasn't in the game. It's always tough when you have somebody with so much potential out. But it's next man up at that point. It's football. You face adversity every time, every play. You got to keep playing. So whoever's up has to step up and start making plays.
Devin, obviously they had their yards rushing, but it seemed like they've got some really good receivers as well. How were y'all able to contain them as well as you did?
I would say our offense helped a lot with that. We have a great receiver core. They got us ready for this matchup. And like I said early on in the week, we relied on our technique, and that's what we did. So I would say a lot goes to our offense for sure. There was the receiver core on that side of the ball.
Keaton, obviously, not the result that y'all wanted. What was just kind of the message in the locker room after the game? And, do you feel like, obviously, there's still a lot of season left for you guys. I mean, you feel like you'll turn it around next week?
100%. This is something I take as it should make everybody go harder. If you put your head down, I told the guys, like, this isn't the moment for that. This is the moment to use it as fuel. We should come back Monday hungrier than ever. I'm still hungry. I feel like I can still play another 4 quarters. So if you guys aren't feeling like that, then you shouldn't be here. This is who we are. We're perseverers. And we did it before. We can do it again. Never say never.
Anything else from these guys?
Devin, what does Jacob Redding mean to the safety room? It seems like he was kind of unheralded coming into this game. I guess he had a pretty good one. What is he like, and what does he mean to that group?
He's a great dude. He's a great competitor. He comes in every day. He puts his head down. He grinds every day. Since I've been here, I've seen him grown a lot, and which allowed him to get more playing time. And he's the person who took advantage of his opportunity, and I'm glad he's on the team.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Sawyer, I asked Keaton this, but obviously not the result you guys wanted. What was just kind of the vibe in the locker room, and do you feel like you guys will bounce back from this next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to bounce back. Everything's still out in front of us. I think we have a really, really good team this year. The vibe in the locker room, as far as that went, I mean, stuck in it, stayed fighting. It's kind of what summarizes this team. A lot of dudes who are going to fight to the very end. Obviously, came up short, but battled until there was a minute left, or whatever there on that 4th down. With us, got to finish stuff like that. But, yeah, everything's still out in front of us.
Sawyer, how frustrating is it when kind of the offense gets a little bit one-dimensional and you're kind of forced, it seems like, to throw the ball all the time, and that's kind of where you're having your success? How much does that change things for you?
A little bit, but, I'm prepared for the challenge. It's kind of funny. The bowl game and then starting this game, 2 SEC opponents. It was. And we knew what we were going to into. Like they have a really good front, and so they did some good things. But the linemen fought hard. They protected well. Unfortunately, we were making some plays through the air. I don't think we sputtered there for a little bit in the second quarter, but I think we moved the ball effectively and played well for the most part. We gotta finish better those 2 drives. The one at the very end, and then the one really the 2 to start the game. We kicked the field goal and then missed the 4th down. But I mean, obviously, would love like B. Wash is an amazing running back. And when the other team has a really good front seven, it affects the game.
Cole, first game in a Baylor uniform. What kind of got you going, and how much fun was it? I know you guys lost, but I mean, you put up over 100 yards receiving. What was that game like for you?
First I want to thank the good Lord for allowing me to be in this situation. I'm very grateful. Came a long way, but the coaches put us in a great position. We had a good game plan the whole week. The line held up. Sawyer did his job, and everything kind of just worked out perfectly. We have Josh Cameron and Ashton Hawkins, who they already, the DBs already know about them, so they have to guard them as well. So that just left me in a perfect opportunity to be able to make a good play.
Yeah, Sawyer, the receivers were making a lot of yards after the catch. I mean, what do you see from these guys? Do you feel like y'all can be that kind of explosive offense?
Absolutely, and kind of like what I just said, I think that's one of the better defenses we're gonna play against. Had a lot of talent, and obviously these guys were making a lot of plays, and so super encouraging, super encouraged by that, and it's fun too. Like we were out there having fun. I think we were relaxed, all the stuff. Like I said, we really just got to finish a couple of those drives, and game probably had a different outcome. But yeah, no, I couldn't be more proud of them. And honestly, like we were having our Friday meeting, I told them like this is the expectation. Like they've already put enough stuff on tape. I don't know the final numbers from the game, but it felt like all of them had close to 100 yards. And that's dangerous when the ball can spread around like that.
Cole, did you ever get frustrated on the sideline? I mean, you cut it to 7 3 times, and then immediately Auburn kind of hit right back. Most notably, obviously the kick return. Like, what were the conversations like on the sideline? And did you ever get frustrated that it was just like you couldn't complete the comeback?
Maybe internally a little bit, but because it's always disappointing to see like something like that happen. But as far as being one of the leaders on the team, I kind of have like a little like controlled aggression, I guess you would say, and just trying to keep pushing because I believe in our defense. I know the preparation that we do day in and day out throughout the week, and I believe in our offense as well. So it's no time to be down. Anything can happen.
Cole, what's the message on your strip there? What is that message for?
It says, long live Bambino. My brother, he passed a couple weeks ago. That's his nickname. We call him Bam. So I just put this across just as a reminder. He really wanted to come to this game. He was the first person to tell me, like, man, put in the tickets for me. So I really wanted him to be here, but I know you watching.
When did he pass?
I would say like 3 weeks to a month ago. Yeah.
Y'all, Sawyer, you went for it 6 times on 4th down. I assume as an offensive unit, you guys are like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, even several times y'all went for it in your own territory. I mean, do you appreciate, I guess, the faith that Dave and the coaches put in y'all?
I mean, absolutely. Just the confidence they show. How many of the 6 did we get? Yeah. So, I mean, not bad, but we could be better. Obviously, the two there that were close to the end zone sting a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the faith's great in us, and we know we can get all 6 of those because I mean we've done it before. I think we're a really good offense. So yeah.
Sawyer, I guess you saw enough of him in camp, but kind of just nothing surprises you on what he does because he was such a big weapon today.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, everything he did today, like he's done in camp, running by people, effective vertically, and then also, I hit him on the one that was coming across, the like shallowish. Took that for a long time. His speed's really dynamic. I mean, you got to cover him a long ways, and so he really makes the offense that much more explosive.
It's good to see you guys. Really disappointed with tonight. It's a tough locker room to leave. Guys were upset and frustrated, and I think it's tough to go through a game like that. I felt that there's a bunch of effort in that game. I thought there was a bunch of try hard and want to. And the execution, just so much to be desired. And there's too many times where we would make a move and try to get in the thing to only get in our own way. Whether it was the return or it was a penalty or it was a bust. And so just way disappointed in that. And, so much to correct. I think in talking to the team, it's, there's been some opportunities that we've had and we've fallen short. We have to be able to use, the reasons that are showing up on tape and correct them that we're falling up short. We've got to fix it. And we've got to be able to be in better position because we've got a great opportunity here coming up next week. And we want to be an improved team. All of this that we're going through now, we want it to be for good. And we want to be improved because of it. And not let the discouragement weigh us down. That's really the challenge that's ahead of us right now. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave, Auburn rushed for over 300 yards. Was that the most disappointing thing, and was it surprising to you at all?
You knew they were going to run the quarterback, and there was like design quarterback runs that we really should have fit up better than what we did. Then there was also, and this happened a couple times, we're in match coverages where we're really kind of matching them pretty tight. Quarterback was instructed to see that and just take off running. So he would abort whatever play he had and just run, and we would be a guy under and a guy over the top. And so, we weren't playing man throughout the game because of some of the matchups. And so that match coverage was a way to play kind of tight coverage on them. And when that went away, we're really kind of playing zone throughout of it. And so there was an adjustment that had to be made there. I think the biggest disappointment in all of it, I thought, was just the tackling. I wish the tackling would have been so much better. And, that's something we really have to address. A lot of these plays that hurt us tonight, we are going to see here in a week. And, the team we're playing already runs them. And so we got a lot of work to do.
Coach, two-parter here. Do you have any updates on Jackie Marshall? And two, how did you try to change things on the fly after he left in the first half?
It's a high ankle or a high sprain for him, and so he's day to day. That was a hit for us. He's one of our better players on defense, and we went to more 4 down fronts with him. I think he can play a 3 down and 2 gap and play inside to outside, and not having him, we don't really have that ability to do that. So we have to play more just in your gap and 1 man, 1 gap, which becomes an issue with the quarterback a little bit. But tried to blitz a little bit more too when he was gone. So we're hoping that we get Jackie back. We've got some players that have been with us now for about 2-3 weeks that we got to bring along. We added them for depth, and the depth is needed right now.
Dave, I guess part of it was because you were playing behind a good bit, but y'all really never established the run much.
Right.
Was that frustrating? And then I can't remember if it was every offensive lineman, but most of your offensive linemen all had a holding penalty.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought that run game-wise, we were able to have a few hits here and there, and then the score got in the way of really kind of establishing the run. And I thought that Bryson really hadn't really scrimmaged or practiced quite a bit. We were really trying to protect Bryson all throughout. So there's some rust that came out with him. And then I thought Caden, there's some runs that happened in fall camp where Caden it'd be an A-gap hit and he'd bounce it out and get a bunch of yards. And be effective. And that's always the thing with him, is that while that is something that can be a positive, too many times you look for that and you're not following the line of your blocking and everything. And so I think there's some improvement to be made there. And I know Caden coming out the next time will be better for it. But yeah, you'd like to get the run game started. When our run game is going, it opens up everything else. I think it almost really makes that, what Sawyer and the receiving corps did, that much more impressive when there wasn't a run game. And really, the Auburn was teeing off on them the entire time.
Dave, you just mentioned them, but the receivers had over 200 yards after the catch. Does that always give you a lot of hope that, you can come back in a game, carve up the field in a hurry? And do you feel like that's a sign that this offense could be pretty explosive?
I'd say yes to both. I think that there was always belief that we were going to come back and win this game. And no matter, even after the return, there was a belief that we're going to get us the ball back and we're going to go score and give us a chance to stop them. We're going to stop them. And so I think I can attribute that to the leaders on this team. And there's so many guys that want to fight for them. And that's a strength of our team. But then, I think the receivers collectively are very talented. And Sawyer was able to hit them in stride a lot of times. And if they're playing off, we're able to see it. And they were able to sit down in zones. And then if it's man, they're able to win on some slants and some in-breaking routes. A couple of them were batted down, but we're able to sneak some through there and get some runs after the catch.
A very quality opponent to start things off with. This isn't playing just some layup game. How do you feel like this game makes you better moving forward?
I think anytime you play people that are very talented, it pushes you beyond. It forces you to kind of stretch, and you have to, the things that you would normally do to make a play. Now that's not happening. So now what? You got to be creative and find ways to go make that play. And then when you don't, you have to learn from it. And what could I have done? Or what could we do better? How could we avoid this? So just in all of these games, right, we want to learn and get better and apply the things that are holding us back right now, and learn from them and apply the lessons. And so that come conference play or come next week, we're better for it.
Go to Madison back there.
Coach, truly a game of back and forth. You guys never were able to tie it up. What do you think lacked on defense? Do you think it was the tackling, or do you think there was something else?
I think it was the tackling. I think, there's times that we would fit something up right, and his 4-yard gain. And there's times where we wouldn't fit something up right, and it was an 8 to 10-yard gain. And so first of all, we got to fit everything up right. And second of all, when we do that, it can't be a 4-yard gain. There needs to be a violence and intentionality where that thing is 2 yards or less. So there's a lot to be desired in that phase of it. And like I say, all the plays that we saw, SMU already runs. And so we got a lot of work to do.
Jackson and Zach.
Coach, seemed like an increased level of aggressiveness on 4th down. How much of that was scheme dependent versus a philosophical emphasis?
Describe a little bit more for me.
Broadly, it seemed like a lot of, whether that's early on 33-yard line, going for it on 4th and 8, later on going for it in the red zone on 4th and 1, 4th and short. We've seen that before here, but how much of that did you feel like that was more of an emphasis today or this season as it's been in the past?
I felt the same. I thought that specifically, we had a good beat on what they were in and what they were going to give us, and so it gave us a really kind of clearer view of what we had to dial up to get that down. And then two, I thought that defensively we were struggling to stop them, and we needed to create some momentum and keep the ball with the hot hand, so to speak. And so I think both of those things, right, kind of made up all the fourth downs.
Coach, do you think some of the tackling stuff and some of the things on defense are fixable? And I guess
Yes.
how do you do that?
Yeah, I think you have to identify kind of the situations where say, hey, there's this missed tackle or there's this misfit. We overran a lot of stuff, which is disappointing. The position that I work with overran way too much, and yeah, I'm frustrated with myself on that, and so I feel like crap because of that. I let the team down that way. But we need to be, so there's drills I'm already thinking of that we need to emphasize more, and then we've got to be able to find a way to tackle more live people and bring those people to the ground, and we'll do that.
Dave, I know you've seen Cole make plays during fall camp. He talked about playing for his brother. Did he play at a different level today? He just looked special.
I think I think Cole has been playing this way since he's been with us, and I think there's a real bright light inside of that guy, and it's contagious with him. And so the best for him is yet to come. I think we've got some other guys that are very talented as well that maybe need to catch that fire that he has, because they've got that ability too.
Jerry stole my question about Cole, but I've got another one in the holster here. Obviously, there was a lot of build-up for this game, the helmets, the blackout, and all of that. How much of a disappointment is it that you weren't able to deliver for the fans, and I guess just what would your message to them be?
Yeah, it's the biggest disappointment is that. I know the fans came out and supported, and the guys could feel that right from the very beginning. And what a difference that makes when McLean is filled and it's loud and everything else. And so that's, of all of it, that's the biggest and the most painful thing. But we have to get back to work, and we got to win, and we know what we have to do. I have a good idea of how we have to go about doing it. And so we win, we'll get some more fans back in here and build McLean to what it needs to be. Thank you, Dave. Okay, thank you, guys.